But before then, let's first of all go back to Diani, where my colleague Regina Manyara is, actually that's Karon Jenga. Good morning, Jenga. Yes, she's supposed to have an interview in regards to women in digital space with Immaculate Kasait.
Well, thank you for joining us, Ben. Well, thank you for joining us, Ben Troy, right here from Diani, Kwale County. It is day 3 of the Connected Kenya Summit, and the conversation has been tilted on digital economy and less opportunities shaping the future, and it has also been talking about the data privacy, as well as how businesses can take advantage of the digital era or the digital innovations right here in the country to progress their businesses, to grow their businesses, and also how women can take advantage of technology to also have a space in the digital era. Now, joining me is Immaculate Kasait, who is the Data Commissioner at the Office of Data Protection Commissioner. Talk to us about women in the tech space, as well as how the office is participating in the Connected Kenya Summit. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Immaculate.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Okay. As we start off, I would like to know how your office is participating in this year's Connected Kenya Summit.
Thank you for that question. In this year Connected Summit, we are partners in terms of the issue of data protection. We are sponsoring this year's the Connect Summit, and 2, we have a booth where we are currently seated, and in the booth we are also, because of one of the innovations that we are displaying here is the AI chat box, where we will improve our customer experience, and we are testing it at this conference.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe in a few words, tell us what your role is when it comes to the tech space, when it comes to data privacy.
When it comes to the tech space and data privacy, we all have to agree that a lot of tech space and data is the new oil. Data being the new oil, it means we share a lot of our personal information, that is our name, our addresses, our sensitive information such as health data, our families, and so on and so forth. The role of this office is to ensure that all those people, or tech companies, or data processors, data controllers, and in this case data controllers are the people collecting that information, are doing it in a structured manner in accordance to the law. So our work is to regulate that space, to make sure even as they collect that information, it is used for a specific purpose. The rights of the data subject, in this case the mwananchi, ama the hustler, ama wanjiko, the information is safe. That is not being misused, it's not being used for other purposes than what they agreed for. Because you agree in terms of collection of information, people tend to collect it and use it for other ways than what was agreed. For instance, in the recent past, you've seen people receiving, you go into a market, a supermarket, and thereafter you are then receiving information that you did not ask for. That is commercial use of data. That company should actually then inform you that they will ask if you would want to receive information that you're not whatever, that you have shared with them. Because in this era, it's about collecting information, analyzing the information, monetizing the information. This office is there to protect. Why? Because issues around identity theft, issues about being trolled on the internet, we've seen those are issues that can actually cause mental health, and most importantly can lead to discrimination. If some of this information that is collected on your behalf is misused, somebody could fail to give you a job, or an insurance could increase their premium, and so on and so forth, because of information that was to your disadvantage. That is why we are here, to make sure that as we propel using techie, we also make sure that people's personal information is safe. Yes.
Are there penalties maybe for companies that share data with the third party?
Of course, there are penalties, not necessarily sharing with third parties. Those people who go against the regulation or go against some of the principles under the Data Protection Act, there are penalties. But as an office, we like to encourage, we like to encourage people in terms of compliance. That you're better off, because the issue, we could come and fine you, but at the end of the day, your reputation as a company, you're seen as a company that does not respect people's personal space, and you do not respect your customers. The trust you lose could cost you your business. And as you expand, people want to know that you're protecting the information. Of course, penalties are up to 1% or 5 billion shillings in the event when we give you a chance, what we call enforcement notice, and we tell you if there's a complaint against you, you've investigated and you're found that you are not complied, we give you a chance to rectify in 30 days. In the event you don't rectify, then we go for what we call the penalty notice. Yes.
The theme for this Connected Summit has been digital economy and less opportunities shaping the future. I would like to know, how does that resonate with the data commissioner?
100%, because even the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto and the leadership of His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the 4 pillars. One is digital superhighway. If you're talking about digital superhighway, in the center, one of the pillars is about data security, cyber security. That is one of the core issues. 2, if you're speaking about universal health care, that's sensitive data. They collect a lot of personal information. They have to make sure it is safe. If you're talking about agriculture is about, even recently, about the subsidies, the fertilizer subsidies. The distribution of that meant that you have to collect information about farmers. We as an office are proud to have shared an advisory with the Ministry of Agriculture, because they're collecting personal information about farmers. They must make sure that it is safe. Even beyond that, even when you look at SMEs, the Hustlers Fund, they're using a digital platform to in terms of dispersing funds. That's personal information. So they have to making sure the data protection impact assessment is done, making sure that the information they collect about their customer is safe. That is also about data protection, essentially, because every day they're collecting information about individuals. They have to make sure it is secure.
The afternoon session yesterday was all about women in the tech space, and you're very vocal in terms of ensuring that women are participating in this space. I'd like to hear your views about whether women are accommodated when it comes to this space.
I would say we are not where we are, but I think there is tremendous progress. As an office, we have over 40% women, 45 actually, in terms of recruitment. We have to be deliberate. If tech is what is selling, if tech is Kenyan oil or gold, we have to be deliberate to make sure 50% of the population is in that space, through mentorship, through making sure that we're giving women space, having affirmative action, having policies that allow women to work in the tech space, and they are able to also do what they should do in contributing towards this economy. I think from the conversation yesterday, you can see women, when they tell you stories back when they came into tech. I'm a lawyer myself, I'm a newbie in tech, but I have really embraced it, because I think it's a space that gives women enormous opportunity. They can work here and even work from home and still run their families, and they still be mothers and still be able to achieve the best that their career can afford. I believe that there's a lot of opportunity for young girls to try this space of tech.
Okay. As we come to a close, I'd like to know what's the future outlook for the Office of Data Protection and Commission.
Well, even though we are a new office, 2 years, our projection is that we will roll out our offices to 13 regions, and in that case we will partner with different county governments in terms of making sure that we entrench data protection by default and by design in what they do in every single day. The same for data controllers and processors who are out there, and of course, because really a lot of work happens at the ground. If Mama Mboga in a market somewhere, an example given here is Fangano Island, or in Turkana or Lamu, understand the value of their personal data, they will then demand that it's held in a certain way. If data controllers in those areas understand the value of personal data, they will make sure that they build a brand that takes into account the interest of the customers, and they secure their rights at all times. So for us, it's going out to the region when it's in everybody's mouth that data protection is something we have to embrace. We will be moving towards our vision, which is basically to build trust when it comes to matters of data protection in this country.
And when do you think you're going to roll out this awareness program in all the counties?
It's a continuous process, partnership with civil society organizations. This year we target to do a minimum of 10 counties by June. And let me say it's a continuous. Yes.
Thank you so much, Immaculate Kasait. That has been the Data Commissioner at the Office of Data Protection Commissioner talking to us about various topics that has been ongoing right here at the Connected Summit, Kenya. And earlier on, we did hear from the Cabinet Secretary for Trade, and he was categorically saying that there are areas that they need to be worked on when it comes to innovation, when it comes to the digital divide, when it comes to other areas that are key in driving the digital economy. We'll be bringing you later on a story at 9 p.m. as well as 1 o'clock p.m. My colleague Brian Kimani will be speaking to the Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria, and we'll be giving you that live interview later on this broadcast. Back to you, Ben Troy.
Thank you, Irimo Njenga, live from Diani.